Let's go and get into this next match of the day. It's an elimination match. Who's going to stay alive in the Rocket League World Championships? A best of 5 between NRG and the Chiefs. In the commentary, Shogun and Quinn Lobdell. Take it away, guys.
The desk could not have said it any better. It is the last chance for both of these teams. NRG are going to take on the Chiefs. OCE going to try and look for their first win at the World Championships. And this, well, there's no better time to do it.
Absolutely. There's so much pressure right now for both teams. You know that the Chiefs had a lot of expectations on themselves to be able to beat G2 and not get thrown into this lower bracket. And you know it's the same for NRG. Neither of these two teams expected to be here, and now we get to see them battle it out, and it's going to be great.
Absolutely. There's 3 major questions heading into this matchup. Number 1, can NRG start to convert their shots? Number 2, can the Chiefs hold their nerve under pressure? And number 3, who on earth wants Gibbs to adopt them? Whose idea was that? Either way, we are going to get ourselves into this high-pressure matchup. The Chiefs are going to take on NRG. And it's going to be an immediate pressure from NRG as Jacob going to get a shot, set up for Garrett, and Jake is there. Now, spoke to Yummy Cheeseman yesterday. Torsos is the player to watch in this matchup. He was very quiet yesterday. He blamed himself for some of the problems that his team had. I want to see whether or not he can step up on the other side, though, for NRG. It's going to be Garrett. He was distraught yesterday after his misses, and he needs to bounce back, and you need to say that he needs a big performance, but that is a big goal for Jake and the Chiefs.
Wow, this is going to be huge for the Chiefs to come out so aggressive and take this first goal. We see a great pass from Torsos, putting it into space, and Fireburner just barely missing that ball. It's not going to be enough, especially against teams fighting for relegation. You know they're here to play.
Worst time to try and fight an animal is when its back is against the wall. And both of these teams are going to come out swinging in this matchup. Fireburner looking for that backboard. But there is Torsos. Looking comfortable to start this matchup. The Chiefs have controlled the pace so far. Need to try and make better control or use of their ball rather than just hitting it every single time. There needs to be much more accurate. Something they had yesterday as well, where they had plenty of possession of the ball. They were giving it up way too easily. Jake, looking for the clear. NRG trying to set themselves up for the siege. Torsos now wins the challenge. Garrett coming in from a very bad position. It's just basically given away pressure as the Chiefs look to try and put in their second goal of this game. NRG try and bounce back from the 1 goal down that they're currently in. Here's going to be a flick up from Garrett. He knows it wasn't good enough. Here's Jake. He goes for the net. Going to bounce to the backboard. Will there be a follow-up? No. 2 players committed though for NRG. Means the Chiefs can keep the pressure going. Here comes Drippe. He's almost won the challenge. Almost trying to force it in. Here's another one.
Jake!
The Chiefs are stepping up with the pressure on.
Wow, Jake, this is his second goal already in 1 minute and 30 seconds. You see here lurking. It looks like NRG are just full of nerve, missing the ball, not communicating with each other. And the Chiefs are capitalizing big time.
No matter how much experience you have, there is no feeling like it. The RLCS is where you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, and right now, the Chiefs are playing like world beaters. Ball now up high, Drippe goes in, he almost gives it past Jacob. It's going to be the crossbar that saves NRG from a 3-goal deficit. Double tap saved by Garrett. The Chiefs are mauling NRG. There's the double tap down, Jacob and Fireburner going to try and get it over to Garrett, takes the shot. It's going to be an opportunity for a follow-up. It's going to be the shot. It wasn't great, but it's what NRG needs.
It doesn't matter if it was pretty, it was effective. You see Fireburner push this ball down here to Garrett, and that's great. It pulls Jake all the way out of the goal, and it lets Garrett get that wide open net. And this is what NRG need. They play so well off of momentum, and they need to start to build this lead back.
And that gets Chiefs to realize, wait a second, what position are we in? It takes away the momentum, it makes them think that a little bit more. And this is the mental game from Chiefs, what they can do. They can hold on, or they're going to try and go for that 2-goal cushion yet again. But right now,
again!
I wanted a response to see what they can do with the pressure on. That right there is a response.
A wonderful touchdown from Drippe, and Garrett G with the misplay off of the backboard is just going to feed the ball out straight to Jake, and there's nobody in the net to stop it.
Garrett was the player we said coming into this that needs to perform well. He has to get that confidence back after a poor performance yesterday against Method. And right now, this will not be helping. Fireburner to Garrett. Garrett tries to flick it up. It's going to be too far away from Fireburner, who tries to go for, well, when it comes to Fireburner, 100-0. There's going to be a miss. Here's going to be an attempt, but not quite there. Jacob looking for the set as the Chiefs settle themselves down for defense. You can see currently only 44 boosts for Drippy. It will be enough to push this straight over to NRG. They're going to try and set themselves up. Flick over the top, still not working. These challenges from Chiefs, so dangerous, but as long as they keep getting the ball, it's going to be safe.
And Jake is just playing so aggressive right now. He's reading all the pass plays coming from NRG and is helping the Chiefs control this midfield so well.
Now Jake against Garrett. It's going to be flicked up. Fireburner can take the shot. Two players committed. Opportunity for a follow-up. Here's Garrett. He's almost got him. It's going to be the follow-up. No, nobody touching the ball. And Jake will clear it away. NRG, yet again, there was the chance to bring it back within one. They cannot take it. And there's another shot straight into the body of Jacob. The Chiefs are on fire right now, and NRG are scrambling for a response.
And Shogun, you have to ask yourself, how many more shots missed is going to affect NRG? You see 2 or 3 opportunities here from Garrett G himself. We know he had a bad day yesterday. He felt like he was struggling. They need to make something happen, otherwise their mental team will suffer.
Chiefs defense positioning right now needs working on because Garrett G can take the opening shot, and he's brought NRG back within one.
And this backcourt pressure is so good. You can tell the Chiefs thought Jacob was going to have that ball, and as a result, they stayed down. They didn't pressure the ball, and that brings a lot of space out here for Fireburner and Garrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop, take a breath, and get yourselves ready. The last minute and 15 is going to be so telling for this series. The Chiefs need to hold on. They've got to keep the momentum going against, because they are the underdogs in this matchup. Garrett does miss. It's going to be over to Jacob. Try and get a setup. Fireburner is down the line, just in case the player didn't go towards him, but instead it's all the way down to the other end of the pitch. I heard in the interview, Chiefs were not used to those long players that were coming up against them, now utilizing themselves. Those players, Fireburner wants to get contact. Drippy now on the ball, much better defensive positioning. There is a bump as well. Garrett will recover in time. Torfos didn't even know that that bump was going to come through. NRG have tried every single offensive solution so far. Backboard shots, passing shots, bumping. It's not happening for them right now. And they've only got 30 seconds to get that goal back. Garrett over to Fireburner. It's going to go down to the other end of the pitch. The Chiefs are rotating back, but Drippy there on time.
Yeah, wonderful read there from Drippy off the backboard. We heard him say it on the desk. NRG playing from the lower bracket have been so unsuccessful in history. They haven't won a single match in this lower bracket.
Went for the bumping play yet again, and we have 8 seconds remaining. One more opportunity, one more throw of the dice for NRG before Chiefs can take the win. Here is Jacob off the backboard, looking for the double tap, and it will be Drippy there first. He's going to try and drop it on the ground, and it will do so. Chiefs take game number 1.
Wow, and I don't think anybody could predict this. We saw the desk. They had so much confidence. Even Yummy Cheese had no faith in his Oceania counterparts. It's going to be so difficult here for NRG. I think that they really need to focus more on just trying to control the ball a little bit better. Their clear is going a little bit too far and a little too wild. You can see the nerves really affecting them, Joker.
But very professional responses from both teams. They are talking to each other, not really too much right now for NRG, as they just try and stew on what just happened, but the Chiefs are not getting ahead of themselves. They've been in this position before. They were up. They could have taken it yesterday against G2, but they didn't quite manage it. They know that the job is not done until they have those 3 wins.
Yeah, I was talking to Jake yesterday. He was telling me how much he respects NRG's controlled game on the ground. They go for a lot of bumps, a lot of demos, and he was expecting to see that coming from NRG. That's something that we haven't, and I wonder if that's what's letting Chiefs have so much control over the field. Not getting bumps, not really being thrown off the game like they expected to. They must feel great right now.
So we've seen what Chiefs can do with an incredible start. The next match, we're starting again, 0-0. The opening minute to this matchup is going to be telling. Can the Chiefs continue this momentum? Quinn, for you had a chance to look through that matchup. Give me a rundown of both teams. What are they doing well? What are they not?
Chiefs is playing much more aggressive than NRG, and to be honest, NRG has a lot of the right ideas, but it's the execution that's going wrong. We've seen so many uncharacteristic whips coming from NRG, or Fireburner especially, someone who's typically been a rock at the back, and Garrett G as well. These are some players that are supposed to be the defensive backbone here of NRG, and if they're not having a good day, it's going to show.
Ball over to the corner. NRG will just be happy to take that breath now. The last game, so fast-paced, so scrappy across the field. They'll just want to calm this one down and really get Chiefs to start thinking about their next move. Flick up. Two Chiefs are on the goal line. The flick down. Oh, what a great passing play. NRG, that is what they're capable of.
That is an absolutely incredible touch here from both RG and Firebird. You see RG put this off the backboard, and with so much pace, Jake's unable to move on the backboard to reach to it, and Fireburner spots RG directly below and putting that into open space with only one defender in the goal. There's nothing he can do to stop RG's shot.
Garrett's positioning there. He gets himself two options. If the ball comes down to him, he can take the shot. If not, he's turned sideways. Getting back is not a problem for him. Always praised for his ability to position, and you can see why just there, Torsos taking out Fireburner. His positioning is pretty much all over the field, and the follow-up shot taking advantage of the demo, but it will still remain one goal better for NRG in game number 2. Garrett with another shot. I just start to feel that maybe the beast has awoken. Garrett looking on form after this opening minute. Now Jacob. Looking down, Fireburner with the challenge. Of course he was going to win it. And there's the follow-up from Garrett. It's going in the top right-hand corner. NRG looking like a new team.
And Jake here stuck in the net. He's the only one on his team with any boost. And you see he's so far back, there's very little that can be done. Drippy unable to defend the left side of the net. Again, because of the great boost control here coming from NRG.
Chiefs, the defensive positioning yet again needs fixing. They are too far forward. They're like halfway in the goal line with their cars turned sideways. If the ball is put behind them, there are no options there. Put your car on the side of the goal. Give yourself major options. It saves you boost as well. But instead, they put themselves right in the middle, car turned sideways, and if it's put behind them, they don't stand a chance.
I think Jake expected Drippy or Torsos to have a little bit more boost, but it just wasn't enough for him to be able to cover both sides of the net.
Jake. Find Torsos, but the touch was intercepted by Jacob. Here's the follow-up, but it's saved from Drippy. Chiefs' rotation is all over the place right now. They need to calm themselves down, get back into position, find one another. Just how much they trust each other, just how friendly they are with each other backstage across this entire week. Now it's time to trust one another on the pitch. Fire beats the ball by Torsos. Opportunity for the follow-up. Drippy's going to turn that one in. And the Chiefs will never be counted out.
This is going to be a heartbreaking double commit here from NRG. We see both Jacob and Garrett going up for it, but neither able to read the ball correctly. That's going to open up a lot of space there for Drippy as he comes in for the pressure.
2 minutes and 40 remaining. 2 goals to 1 for NRG. Still plenty of time, plenty of game left to play. And Fireburner, he will defeat a defender by doing absolutely zero. Now down to the other end to catch Jake. That's Jacob who does get a block. Drippy with the half rotation. Can set it up. Garrett has to try and deal with this one very well. It's just over to Torsos. Chiefs starting to settle themselves in. Need to rotate well, need to control the midfield. I feel like that from Jacob trying to force a challenge that could have potentially got them out of this siege. Torsos actually going to leave that midfield boost, offering a chance for NRG if they do go for an attempted challenge to pick themselves up some boost, play the ball out. It will be Fireburner for a long clear. Just as you usually see from the siege. Just taking their time, lovely negative angle. But right now, NRG, they are taking their time. Not jumping when Chiefs say so.
We see a lot of very high balls here coming from the Chiefs, and that's not going to be good for them when they're lacking the boost that's necessary to be able to deal with those high balls. They just don't have the boost to deal with all the aerials coming from NRG, and NRG looks so much more calm in this game too. They're not making the same mistakes they were in game 1, and you can see that with the control of the match.
Drippy, try and beat Fireburner. He has done enough to get Jake into the play. Garrett just trying to look for Jacob over in the midfield. Right now, NRG only wanting to commit one player at maximum. You can almost see that the player in the back is just almost unwilling to jump right now. Just don't want to take yourself out of position. Keep the 4 wheels on the ground and stay as safe as possible. Fireburner, got Jacob in for support. Let's try and put this down. 1 minute remaining. Chiefs still looking to try and find a way through. Pass straight out, but it will be Torsos taking over. That is a very good example right there of the respect that NRG are giving to Chiefs. Not wanting to commit to a potential challenge. Instead, send 2 players back and just rework.
Well, we've seen really good wall play here from the Chiefs. All their clears going absolutely across the field, and that's going to make NRG take a step back, right, and give up the midfield because they won't have any defenders otherwise to deal with those clears.
Jacob will rotate back. NRG have got 1 player on the goal line. That will be Garrett, who looks for Jacob. The challenge there from Jake does not happen. It's going to be Torsos one-on-one against Jacob, who pushes it straight to the corner over to his teammate. Lovely 1-2 play, taking away the pressure from his team. But now the only thing pressuring Chiefs is the clock, and it is ticking down. 15 seconds remaining. The Chiefs have not put together any major offensive threats in the last 2 minutes. And if they can't put something together now, then NRG will tie up the series. There is going to be Jake over in the corner. Another clear from Garrett. Potential hit from Drippe, but he doesn't get the correct mechanics in place, and NRG will take game number 2.
Absolutely. NRG here look like a different beast. You mentioned they poking the bear, poking the beast. We've seen him wake up. Garrett Chief couldn't be a bigger contrast between his performance in game 1 and game 2. You see 2 goals, 3 saves. What a performance from him.
And yesterday, Garrett G, his shooting accuracy just wasn't where it needed to be. He did have some big misses, but this game he gets, according to the stats we see on screen, 2 goals to 1 shot. So I assume the problems have been solved. But that game was very different. Chiefs, when the first goal went in against them, they responded pretty well, but they need to do it quicker. For you, where are the major differences coming between these 2 teams?
Well, I really don't like seeing Chiefs throw that ball into the air as much as they have been doing. They keep giving up control, and since they don't have as much boost as they did in that game 1, you see they just really give up possession time and time again. And NRG, we know that they're one of the best teams in possession, maintaining, distributing the ball, and they punish Chiefs time and time again. The Chiefs need to play a little bit more calm, a little bit more collected, and not let NRG just kind of control the match the way they are.
Absolutely, and that game right there, NRG just so disciplined in the way that they played. They are seeing what Chiefs are capable of and just saying, all right, we know it, but we also know exactly where your problems came yesterday. And that was Chiefs having possession of the ball and launching it every single time towards G2, rather than taking the ball down, getting possession and setting something up for themselves. NRG have seen that, they have adapted to it, and now I want to see where this can be taken now, because the Chiefs got to change something here. So, game number 3. The opening goal has been the difference maker so far, as momentum has propelled forwards. And speaking of momentum, Torsos hit that hard, and Garrett said, I can do that as well, my friends. The ball does not even touch the floor for such a long time. It's finally filled. NRG starting to hold players downfield as well. Just try and disrupt the Chiefs' defense. By misplacing the ball, there's going to be a big bump on the defender. And Torsos, this is exactly what I mean. Opportunities are there, it just looks like they're trying to force mistakes out of NRG. And they've actually managed to cause one. 2 players committed, but Drippe wins the ball.
Jake here pushing this ball down the side of the field here. He's just gonna look for that infield pass. Should be positioned perfectly for it. And both Fireburner and Jake going up for it with the exact same idea. A miscommunication there is gonna let Chiefs take the lead.
So, here we go again. Chiefs, 1 goal to the better. We already know they will not settle on that, especially with loads of time remaining on that clock. Both these teams tied up at 1 game apiece. Torsos went for the demo in the goal, but seems like he did more damage to himself. Fireburner looking for Garrett in that cherry picker, hits the crossbar. And Garrett has found his little hole that he wants to hide in and just pop up to try and take goals away from the Chiefs. Straight in the middle. Themselves on that goal line a little bit too often. Now they're on to control basically 2/3 of the pitch with whatever positioning that they want. Make those long players that they've been doing so well this series that much more difficult to pull off. Drippe pushing it down, NRG setting up the seat. They control the 2 middle boosts. If they control the 2 back boosts for the Chiefs as well, then they can starve out their opponents. You're going to see Jake try and do it, but he gets beat to it. That is huge for the Chiefs. Now Drippe is an option. They're going to try and find him. They managed to get to him. 1-2. There is going to be open net. There comes Drippe, securing the goal and the 2-goal lead.
Just slicing and dicing this NRG defense. Jake taking control of the ball that beats in Garrett, and they bring it back to Drippe and back to Jake. Oh, it's just absolutely incredible play to see. Just dismantling NRG.
Chiefs are puppet masters. They start taking the ball, they start to pass it around, and they make the NRG defense dance. As Fireburner now taking on Jake. The follow-up will come from Torsos. With his own touch blocked by his teammate. I'm sure he won't be too appreciative of that. Torsos now on the ball. Will be by far the first. He's going to get multiple touches. Garrett on the backboard does win, but here is the follow-up from Drippe. Tell you what, Quinn, Chiefs' ability to shadow one another is just so solid. Always seem to be first.
Absolutely. Such great understanding between these two, or between all three of their players.
Opportunity to follow up and Fireburner. Chiefs, you're 2 goals up and an open net will not help you.
Right, we see Jake here actually trying to control the ball to drop it down to Drippy. You mentioned the shadowing. It was great shadowing, but just a bit of a mistouch there from Jake. Too much power off of the wall, and Drippy's not going to be able to get to that in time.
2 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. 2 goals to 1, the Chiefs lead. As Torsos up on the wall. Tries to get it off the backboard, but it's going to be so difficult to do against a lot of these Western teams. Refe with the shot. Over into the body of Jake. Didn't exactly what Chiefs can do with this player in the midfield. Trippy trying to get to it again. This time he is challenged. The pass just a little bit too slow. But I do like that the Chiefs have started to change. They've previously stuck with multiple players behind the goal line, now giving themselves options in the midfield to pass to. Here's going to be Torsos. There is multiple mistakes from NRG. There's 2 players committed as well. Follow-up should go in. It will go in. And Chiefs are now 2 goals up yet again.
And this is another overcommit here from NRG, both Fireburner and Jacob. We see a great touch from Fireburner to put that off of his own crossbar, but Jacob not relaxing and staying cool in net. He's unable to follow up on that touch from Fireburner.
Chiefs, if you thought the first match was a fluke, it seems like you'd be horribly mistaken. They are a talented squad, and they are showing it on the biggest stage we currently have. Torsos in the corner. Just wants to try and be as annoying as possible right now. Drippe with the shot over the side. That's 2 players committed, but the recovery not going to be great from NRG, and still Chiefs with this 2-goal lead with time ticking away. Refuse to go away from the offense, and can they reap the benefits? Looking for the flick on, it's going to go in. Chiefs are on fire.
Absolutely, just miscommunication time and time again, and the Chiefs look like they've ironed out all of their problems, able to capitalize on every single mistake NRG is making. And this isn't something we saw from the Chiefs versus G2 yesterday. This is a new Chiefs squad.
The winner of this match will go on to take on Cloud9 in the next round later on today. So whoever wins this, their job is not done. And for Chiefs, from the way I've looked at the way they're playing, they'll look at a scoreline of 4-1 and say that their job still isn't done. Going to continue to try and put goal after goal past NRG.
And I think that's going to be the right idea, Shogun. NRG is a great team, and they put together opportunities so quickly. If Chiefs give up this pressure, they're just going to invite goals from NRG.
It's actually what we saw yesterday from PSG as well. They put themselves 2 games to better. Start to say, okay, as long as we don't make mistakes, we'll end up winning. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that anymore. Teams will not beat themselves, but right now, NRG are almost doing exactly that. Once again, an opportunity there for the Chiefs. Not turned in, but with a 3-goal deficit, it might not end up mattering. Torsos will be by himself with that Dominus, looks for a powerful flick. Stay on this, Kali want to try and go for a flick with. Dominus is a pretty good one to start. Defending puts it straight down. Torsos will think better of going for the challenge, and Chiefs will begin to retreat. When we look at OC, last season they had a ton of different cars. We mostly saw the Dominus. Fireburner will look to try and turn this in, try to get a double touch, but it will not be there. What do those flatter cars do for you?
The flatter cars giving you much more power and a lot more height on the ball. You're able to get much stronger flicks in general, just based off of the car's hitbox.
It is going to be series point for Chiefs. They look happy with themselves. They've been in this position before, though. It is not over yet, but the biggest question right now is whether or not NRG can bounce back. Jacob has been in this position before, going 0-2 at a World Championships. You know he wants to avoid that at all costs.
And there's immense pressure, like I said earlier, on both these teams right now. NRG, unable to make anything happen from the losers bracket historically through the RLCS. Chiefs here had the same position against G2 yesterday, and we saw them crumble underneath the pressure. It's going to be up to Chiefs to take this next game and convert their lead into a series win here, or it looks like NRG may be able to edge them out.
So, who's in more danger right now, Quinn? NRG?
Honestly?
Or Yummy Cheeseman for making that prediction just a second ago?
I know, if the Chiefs win this, they will never forget Yummy Cheeseman. He will be a traitor of the biggest proportions.
The smile they will have when they go back to meet him will just be out of this world. But for Chiefs, 1 game away, and it is coming up very soon. Can they do what they couldn't do yesterday and finish their opponents? Or will NRG find that veteran instinct that they've always had, bounce back, and take the series to game number 5? Once again, we're going to be looking for that opening goal. It has been the momentum shifter every single time. Because the team with the opening goal has got to win.
Demo.
Jacob and Garrett covering the defense. One of those demos that would really work if they were on a counter-attacking play, but all 3 members of NRG are back, so you've easily got a head to replace the Hydra. What's and Jake? Uncomfortable in the corner. It seems like Chiefs are taking touches for the sake of taking touches right now. Control the boost, control the ball, and you won't make a mistake. Fireburner will do it by himself.
Fireburner here with an incredible touch here. Not only is he going to control the ball here, but he's also going to bump Jake out of the net here and take the goal for himself. Just an incredible solo play here from Fireburner. This is going to be huge. Taking this lead early, it seems like they've had trouble coming back against Chiefs, finding their way back into these matches, but holding on to a lead is something we know NRG can do.
Oh, Garrett seems to have rammed his face into the wall. But if the rhythm of this series is to be believed, NRG should be able to try and convert this series, but once again, plenty of time left to play, and still NRG not always looking comfortable on the defense. Chiefs, on the other hand, seem to always play the ball just a little bit too long, handing away the ball yet again over to NRG. We'll see if he toss off, but not trying to control. It'll be Garrett coming in off the backboard. But Jake is up there, much better for the Chiefs. They were having lots of problems with that earlier on, and the demo on Jacob will allow Drippe to walk through the gate into the castle. But nothing there yet. The siege starting to be set up. Of course, also looking for a bump on Jacob over in the background. But not coming in. NRG slowing down now. It's going to start using their, admittedly, much stronger rotation to try and shut down the Chiefs in this game.
Absolutely, rotation is one of NRG's best and greatest strengths here, and you can see, even though it looks like Chiefs might be controlling the match, somewhere controlling the midfield, they're unable to make anything happen due to the great rotation there from NRG.
Absolutely, Jake trying to get up, but it will be Garrett. 2 players committed from NRG, but they should be safe. Already got 1 player going back, so the Chiefs taking their time trying to put together offense. But this is a very disciplined style of play right now from NRG. They are not committing for the goal. It's almost like a slingshot has been set up in the middle of the goal. Beyond there's going to be the follow-up shot from Jacob. He's going to sling that one into the net.
And a fantastic 50-50 from Fireburner. We know he's so famous for those, and Jacob with a wonderful shadow there to capitalize. There was no more defenders, and Jacob knew that. He knew that if Fireburner won this 50-50, it's going to be an open goal for them to increase this lead.
They have calmed themselves down. They've calmed the pace of the game down, and it is working. When I try to use that slingshot analogy, what I mean by that is the ball hits the middle of the field, goes back a little bit, and NRG sling it back over into Chiefs' half. And it is working every single time because that forces Chiefs to keep playing, and that means more opportunities for Chiefs to make a mistake. There is opportunities for NRG, and they are playing their game in game number 4. Fire with boost. Ends up jumping early. Might have thought that Demo was going to come in. Here's Jake with the tap down. Drippe is going to take a Fireburner, but Fireburner, the brick wall will come in and pan it into the net.
And it looks like this was just a bit of a mistouch here from Drippe, jumping up off of the wall. I don't think he meant to do that. He just kind of fell off of the post there. It wasn't going to be enough there, and Fireburn just taking a solid 50-50.
So, 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. NRG in complete control of game number 4, just as they were in game number 2. Tossos going to avoid Jacob by just keeping himself where he was. Still no goals on the scoreboard for Chiefs. NRG seem to have fixed up their offensive issues. A bit more of the defense so far this series, but this game, they haven't been forced to play any defense, so we haven't seen if that has been fixed just yet. It's a good way to try and avoid something you seem to be struggling with. Just don't force yourself to do it. Now shot from Jacob off the side. Just know every single goal that NRG put in at this point is another statement, another dent to Chiefs' hopes. As momentum is such a major part in game number 5. Quinn, you've played at this level before. You've seen what it takes to be on that stage. What is game number 5 like in a huge series like this?
It's going to be immense pressure, and you can already tell those Chiefs are feeling it. They're just not hitting the ball nearly as well, and the communication breaking down. No more of these wonderful side passes to clear the ball. 1-2s, it's just not going to be there, and you can see NRG choking them out of boost consistently. All it takes is a 50-50, a backboard pass. When you have no boost, you're unable to convert that into a clear.
Veteran instinct from NRG seems to be the difference maker. In a high-pressure situation, they are not crumbling, they are stepping up, and that is what champions do. Previous North American champions, dethroned by Cloud9. You know that's playing on their mind. They want to set themselves up for a rematch, which is what will be waiting for them if they can win here. There is still going to be one more game to go, 50 seconds remaining. We can almost say that this match is effectively done. Now both these teams more or less playing for momentum heading into game number 5. Speaking of momentum, Jacob would like to give Torsos a little bit more of it by trying to bump him up into the air. Firebunner off the backboard, here is Jacob, and there goes the ball. But in the interview there, sometimes even his teammates don't know what Jacob's trying to do. I can tell you right now, as an analyst, I have no idea either. But it works, and that is all that is important. And right now, all that is important for NRG is that their strategy is working. 4 goals to the better heading into game number 5. The tie-breaking matchup, and there are going to be so many questions. This game has been done for a long time now. Both these teams have had an opportunity to think for themselves. They're going to have one more minute to compose themselves for a huge match.
Absolutely. NRG was on their last legs, and they still are. We're going to game number 5, and that was the wake-up call that NRG needed. They know that they need to make something happen, and it would have been heartbreaking for them to get upset and potentially one of the biggest losses to an OCE team from any other region.
Absolutely. So, Chiefs, we saw them in this position yesterday. They dropped heavily to G2 in game number 5. They just never got themselves going. It was the same story in game 4 against NRG that we just saw. It's going to be all down to mentality. It's going to be down to whether or not they trust themselves enough to go for the challenges and control the midfield, because NRG had control not only of the midfield, but over the entire map in this game.
Yeah, we saw them playing so much faster in the earlier games, and that really suited the Chiefs' playstyle a little bit more. They didn't have to second guess when it came to dribbles and 1v1s, where that seems to be where they're suffering on the pitch. So we need to see them play a little bit more aggressive. You could see 7 saves for the Chiefs here, and that is not a good stat right there. That means that they're having so much pressure being put on them. Just an onslaught of shots coming from NRG, and if the Chiefs can't make something happen here, it looks like it's going to be the end of them.
Every game has been different to the last. Let's see what tie-breaking game 5 has in store of us. NRG looking to move on for a rematch against Cloud9 from the regional championship. Whilst on the other side, it's going to be Chiefs hoping to keep OCE as happy as they can be. And once again, I said it in game number 4, but the first goal will be telling. Every single time so far, opening goal has ended up going on to win. And I think both these teams know it. Torsos up in the air. An unnecessary side flip from him will take away the momentum. He might have thought to himself that maybe he just couldn't get to the ball. I wanted to bring himself out of the play as quickly as possible. Drippe, already a much better start from Chiefs. They are downfield. Drippe will back off. It's going to be Jacob, not quite there. And Jake does get beat to the ball off a crucial challenge from Fireburner. Now Garrett, over into the corner. It's going to be up to Torsos to not make any mistakes. He flicks it up long. See Garrett moving forward. He just wants to try and force the move. And it's going to be Fireburner just being an absolute feed in the Chiefs' half. Using to go away, using his incredible blocking abilities just to cause problem after problem. As NRG try and settle in, they try and re-grasp exactly what worked so well from the game before and hold the Chiefs into their half of the field.
And the Chiefs shadow each other. You spoke about how they're so good. The understanding between those players is there. There's fantastic synergy, but we haven't seen much of that shadowing here in this game number 5. We see one player challenging the ball and 2 others opting to stay back in that, and that's not going to be enough if they want to be able to pressure and create attacks against this NRG defense.
Bounce catching Torsos out. Fireburner wins the challenge. There'll be no follow-up. Garrett holding himself back. Going to go for a shot off the crossbar. Jake with the clear. no options in the middle of the field for him to pass to. So for the time being, it's just going to be getting the pressure away. They've actually managed to convert this, holding into the midfield now. Jake's leaving it for Torsos. First win of the challenge against Fireburner. Every single time, this has been Chiefs trying to regain what worked so well for them. The challenge is coming in. You are correct, Quinn, that less shadowing.
Oh!
There's going to be a shot off the crossbar. Follow-up from Torsos. It's going to be a very difficult shot to make. Taps it straight down. It's going to be the follow-up, and Jake takes the opening lead. Huge goal for the Chiefs.
Just half the game left and a wonderful shot there, almost getting it off the crossbar, and Torsos dropping it straight down. Gary Chief just not getting close enough to the ball. He's gonna get a shoddy 50-50 on that ball, and we're gonna see the Chiefs push that one into the net.
A problem created out of nowhere for NRG. It was such a slow-paced game. Now they are starting to roar into action as they find themselves one goal down. Drippe with another big save. But for Fireburner and the rest of the team, whenever they put themselves on the goal line and wait for Chiefs to go forward, they make too many mistakes. They lose the challenges, which is something we never see out from NRG, but Chiefs are always winning the blocks. Now Garrett gets himself up high. It will be Jake, he's got plenty of time. He's also got an option downfield if he wants to aim for it. And Torsos will be the player he aims for. Trying to make use of the walls. Garrett gets it over. It's going to be a save from Jake. Not wanting Jacob to take a shot, but it's going to be NRG with their attempt to move forward. Another long clear, and now I'm not going to stop criticizing those long clears. That is exactly what the Chiefs need to do. Another ball up high, Jake. Just going to leave it for Fireburner, who's going to have all the time to play out, but too much of a loose ball played. Heads it straight up to Torsos. NRG need to calm down and set up a play because they're not going to catch Chiefs out unless they move too far forward. Follow.
Oh!
It's in, and now NRG have it all to do.
Increasing the lead to 2 goals, we see more dominant wall play here coming from the Chiefs. Jake able to push out to the center field. Torsos with the 50-50 and a fantastic shot here from Drippe.
Drippe's positioning could not have been any better. The challenge goes straight to his car, and we could be 100 seconds away from saying goodbye to crowd favorites NRG. There is a big save from Jake, keeping that 2-goal lead. And the pressure for Chiefs is to not turtle up. They've played this game perfectly so far. Now they need to finish it. Flick up the Torsos, he's going to offer the opportunity to move straight in. Fireburner with the 7. Garrett is too close. He needed to maybe just do a half rotation, give himself more options, because unless that ball came straight down to him, he was never going to score. Quinn, 1 minute remaining. NRG, once they need to change, and the shot comes in from Torsos. 3 goals! It is unbelievable here at the National Harbour.
And we have a goal here for every member of this Chiefs squad. They are taking this game 5 as a team, dominating this NRG squad. We see so much lethargic play coming from NRG, and they are just inviting the Chiefs to take this series.
1 minute and 5 remaining. 3 goals to the better. Chiefs are on task for the biggest upset in RLCS history. And it is all but confirmed at this point. The Chiefs are dominating.
And we are witnessing NRG crumble underneath this pressure. It is so difficult for them. They are taking offensive and defensive risks to try and take this lead and reduce it. It's not happening for them.
I mean, what do you say at this point? What can NRG even do? At 2 goals down, there are options. Maybe get a goal, you can bring yourself back in. But at 4 goals, and with Chiefs looking so comfortable with the rotations being as perfect as they are right now, there is almost nothing available. NRG need to average a goal every 10 seconds to bring themselves back and just force an overtime. I don't think it's possible.
I don't think so either, but don't say never. We know that NRG is a wonderful team, and they're playing with so much aggression right now. We've seen the Chiefs crumble under pressure before.
20 seconds remaining, 1 goal every 5 seconds, almost an RLCS impossibility. And with 10 seconds left, another clear with Drippe will confirm the biggest upset in RLCS history. They couldn't do it yesterday against G2, but today the Chiefs will do it against the former Kings of the North. NRG are out.
The Chiefs winning this game number 5. You mentioned it before. Every game in this series going back and forth. No game playing the same. It has been absolutely incredible to witness both these teams. Mid-series adaptation. Both playing with aggression, giving up the midfield, controlling the boost. It has been back and forth between these 2 rosters, and both of these teams have to be proud. They have played a heck of a series.
Both these teams now will go onto their own paths. Chiefs continue their run in the tournament, but it's going to be an interesting postseason for NRG. I do not know where their path takes them because this was a huge upset loss for them, and they are the first team eliminated from the Season 4 World Championships. Quinn, I mean, what do you say about this? This was massive in every way.
I think at this point, NRG are going to say, any RLCS we go to, we cannot drop to the lower bracket. We see they do not play well underneath that pressure, knowing they're on their last legs. We saw a few good games here, but the Chiefs came out aggressive, and NRG didn't seem to have a reaction to that. There was no response fast enough. It felt like there was a lot of just missed mechanical plays there, a lot of giving the ball away a little too easily, and they got punished every time there.
Chiefs are going to, I mean, you see it on them. Look at the knowing looks on their face, just how happy they are. I don't think even they expected this to be happening, but it has happened, and you can't feel any more happy for them. Last season, OCE was introduced to the RLCS. We didn't know what to expect from them. Many people were saying, not a chance. Why are we even introducing OCE? They took the win against Denial. Even then, there was some complaints just going, okay, it was Denial. It can go either way, but against NRG, it is now undeniable. OCE is here and is a force in the RLCS.
Absolutely. I'm sure all of Oceania is cheering so loud for the Chiefs. They can't be anything but ecstatic for their performance today.
I cannot wait to hear from Jake, and he is now on the stage with Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Guys, give it up. Seriously. What a series. The Chiefs have arrived, and now this is going to be the second time that the OCE region has been represented here. Alpha Sydney last year, you guys came into it. A lot of people kind of just felt as if it was like, oh yay, OCE's here, that's awesome, let's see them play. And then you guys fell, I believe 1-2 in that one. What lessons did you learn from that coming into this event?
We learned that NA and EU are actually a lot better than we thought they were. Because you watch online and you see everyone, and you don't actually realize just how good they are until you play them.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, you go to that stage, you go up against them, and you're like, oh wow, this is a lot more than what we had expected. Now, one thing that the casters had noted was in the game, you were really focusing on hard clears, trying to send the ball as far away as possible. But then you made some adjustments, and I started to see some more of a short game coming out. You guys were passing to one another more and more. Was that like a conversation that you guys had going into it?
We always try and play that play style, like the short passes, trying to connect. But at LAN, everyone kind of just plays awfully and hard clears it. Like, yeah. I call it a LAN hit, just being bad and just hitting it across the field. So, I don't know, we just started to relax a bit more and played our game.
Now, and you have a long road ahead of you here. Because not only did you, with this victory against NRG, a very formidable roster, coming up next, you have to face off against Cloud9, and then if you win that, then you have to face off against Ghosts, and the road doesn't get any easier from this point forward, but surely you guys had this conversation yesterday, right? And are you prepared for this long journey to the finals?
Look, we're just going to try our best. We really thought we had to beat G2 yesterday because we're in such a death losers bracket at the moment. Like, NRG are incredible, and now Cloud9. It's going to be really difficult. We're just going to take it game by game, so it happens. Fair
point. Take it game by game. I totally respect that. Now, this is the opportunity that I know you've been waiting for. The time to throw Yummy Cheese Man under the bus as far as we could possibly toss him. He predicted you guys to lose. Do you have any words for the traitorous Yummy Cheese Man?
I'd like to thank Yummy because his disbelief in us inspired us to prove him wrong and make him look like an idiot.
Whoa! Whoa! You deserve it! He took his headset off, he's trying to come over to the stage. You sit down, you have a segment to do. Anyway, thank you so much, Jake. I appreciate it. Guys, give it up one more time for Jake and the boys over in the Chiefs' well-deserved victory. Let's send it over to Axel Toss and the very, very sad Yummy Cheese Man.
That's what the World Championship is about. Yummy, take it away, man.
I'm not sad. The Chiefs just took down the North American champions. OCE have finally arrived. There is no doubt whatsoever.
Really, the Chiefs have gone and they have ended a dynasty in North America. This is the end for NRG. They're knocked out of the tournament, and the Chiefs prove yet again that you cannot count OCE out. That was an amazing series to watch.
I just need you to hurry this segment up because I know they're about to come down here.
They're waiting. Yeah, they're waiting.
Lay
right
the
around
snack
corner.
down. I'll go straight to my dressing room. I'm back home to Australia.
What an incredible series. Chiefs to have the resolve to bring it back. And I was getting flashbacks of yesterday when they were playing G2 because it felt like NRG was starting to make a comeback. But this time the Chiefs holding on. Let's take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay. The Chiefs making history here and knocking NRG out of the tournament.
Certainly making history, and it was a huge start here for the Chiefs, with Jake getting 3 goals in the first game. This is the first time in a full year and a half of this team being together that Jake played so aggressively, and he put them at a huge advantage right at the start.
So we all predicted that they needed to get Torsos involved, and they did the exact opposite of that. They left him back and let Jake and Drippe do what they do best up here on the offensive side, which we don't see very often, but they can do it. That give and go right there from Drippe. Torsos finally got involved in the very crucial game 4 and 5, but for the most part, it was the Jake and Drippe show throughout this entire season.
And on the other side of the ball, NRG just struggled to get going as a unit. There were so many double commits, so many miscommunications, and really the Chiefs exploited that.
After Chiefs went last time, they came back and they said, we can't hit the backboard. Well, they've adapted back to their old playstyle. They hit the backboard over and over again, and NRG weren't ready to deal with it.
And speaking of those double commits, usually they will send 2 up on NRG, but they're so good on the defensive side of the ball, they still get a good touch. It doesn't affect them here. It definitely affected them. It seemed like nerves were playing a factor. Garrett was doing a great job on the offensive side, but making really weird mistakes on the defensive side of the ball, and it just seemed like Jacob couldn't get anything going. And now this is 3 out of 4 World Championships where NRG has come in last place. They had a great run in season number 3, and we thought Garrett was the answer, but now it's time to start thinking, was last season a fluke?
Yeah, and it's right now it's seeming that way. And NRG, the 3-time North American champions, they fell this season to Cloud9 and then now going out in last place. Are they going to make changes? What needs to change for this NRG squad? Because really they just could not get anything going as a team. The games that they did win were just big solo performance. In the first game for NRG, for Garrett, and then the second for Fireburner. But other than that, they really didn't get anything going as a cohesive unit.
NRG's story is over, and they are the one team that stuck with their style. Even Garrett said that to us. They stuck with their style. They tried to play out the new North American style that Cloud9 has brought in, and it's time for them to start changing their style. They've stuck together this long. I think they can still do it.
And you know what? There's one person here that has a sign, I believe, about Torsos, about the future. So maybe the keyboard and mouse, it might be the future, honestly.
This was the OC champions, Chiefs eSports Club. I was worried. They were the OC champions. Everyone at home thought that this was the team that would again prove Oceania North American champions in NRG. They're the team that everyone expects to do well. Well, the OC champions are definitely here.
Anything can happen in a world championship environment in front of a huge crowd, everyone watching online. And it feels like we see surprises like this at every world championship that we end up hosting here in the RLCS. I personally did not expect NRG to be the first team knocked out of the tournament, but guys, let's look forward a little bit here because the Chiefs, they're advancing on to play Cloud9. Jake mentioned it. They are in a gauntlet of a lower bracket right now. So, while this victory is amazing for Chiefs, what do they need to hold on to from this victory to ensure they can continue their success and maybe pull off an upset against Cloud9?
So I think with the Chiefs, even in season 3, like, it wasn't a matter of if, it was just when are they going to get that giant victory. We've seen them scrim all of these teams, and they're very competitive in season 3 and now season 4, and I think they just have to be like, hey, we can play with the big boys. Cloud9, they've only played once on a world championship stage. It is now time to take those early games. Same exact way PSG did it. Wins game 1 and 2, and then you just need to win 1 of 3.
The challenge of the new regions coming in, of Oceania, is that you don't get that international opportunity to really come and play these teams. So the biggest strength any team needs is adaptation, and they showed it up there on the stage today. They're going to need to adapt even further to take down Cloud9.
And I want to speak about Cloud9 too. You gotta think, you gotta know they were watching that match. How does Cloud9 react to that, and what are they going to take from that match to make sure the same thing doesn't happen to them that happened to NRG?
Do not underestimate OCE. The Chiefs have proved with this victory that they can beat anyone.
And they even had some solid scrims earlier. There's even Garrett G before the match was saying that they were scared of the Chiefs. Chiefs are definitely a team that can take on Cloud9 at this point.
All right, Chiefs trying to make a bit of a run here. They already started history, and now can they continue that run forward? We're going to find out. We're going to take a short break here from the World Championship, the MGM National Harbor here in Washington, D.C. When we come back, we got another OCE team taking the stage. It's Pale Horse going up against Makin as the World Championship continues.